In the first course, we start with subordinate clauses and students that we don't have, because it is the first lecture after a long period of span time, no, it is enough, so I will say, now, students, we start with subordinate clauses. You remember subordinate on these things. Now, your time is very limited. I think maybe 2-3 weeks, and we will go to the training period. About 6 weeks. After that, we may have 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then you will start your exam and the monthly and the final. So I should cover the chapter as a whole within such limited time. That's fine. What should I will do in the next period? I'll do the following. I start with nominal data, but I start with the most frequent clauses that I have seen from my experience that grammarian focus on. I mean, nominal clauses, I will not take all types of nominal clauses, the most frequent one. With the adverbial, again, compare if it is only one type, at comment it is one only time. When I finish the chapter, if I have time, I'll come back to them, at least to have an idea. If I don't have time, of course, I will choose the most appropriate one. Second, most of the things that I'm not going to discuss, you have taken them in previous year within to infinitive, within ing. That's why I will not re-explain that. Now today, let us start with nominal that clause, which you remember I want reach to this point in the first course. That clause which is on page 316. To refresh your memory, you remember what do I have? I have subordinate clauses. You remember I told you subordinate clauses, it is going to be divided into nominal and adverbial, comparative, and command. So we are going to focus on the clauses, not single item, just like in first course, which is what is a subject, what is you remember. No, it is a clause. When I say clause, it has a subject, it has what? A complement, it has a verb. Okay. Within nominal, it has many types. Let us start with that, because that is the most frequent type. I want someone to read for me, and I will show you the procedure in which you are going to read these clauses. First of all, yes, if you don't mind, can you read the first example?
Subject,
Yeah.
she is still alive, is a consolation.
Now, what do I have here? I will ask you, identify the clause. By identify, what do I mean? Show me where's the clause. And the line, right? So now where's the clause? Which clause? Of course, I mean the nominal clause. You know, student, from now till the end of the chapter, we are talking about what? Complex sentence. So there's no need to tell me the sentence is simple or complex. It is complex. So where's the clause now?
That she is still alive.
Good. This is the clause. Now I ask you the second question. Which function?
Subject.
Now I am talking about the function of the clause, not the function of single item. The clause. You remember in chapter 7, when we say what is a subject, it is a noun phrase, it is a phrase, you remember, or a clause. Now it is a clause. Okay. What is the name? Label.
I don't know that clause.
Yeah, label. You have labels, you have your names. Now I should know what is it. It is nominal. Which type? That. So where is the subordinator?
That.
Which type of subordinator?
Simple.
Simple. Very good. These are the questions that you should think of whenever you have what? You have a clause. Thank you very much. Yes, Manar. Move to the second one.
Direct object.
Yes.
I told him I knew that he was wrong.
Yes. First of all, where is the clause?
Clause, he was wrong.
Yeah. Which function?
Direct object.
Why? Him here is what? Is indirect object. So that he was wrong is what? Direct object, and label it, it is nominal, that clause. Similarly, if I say I knew that he was wrong, that he was wrong is what? Is a nominal that clause, function as direct object. Thank you very much. Yes, the third one. Yes, here.
Subject complement.
Yes.
The assumption is that things will and proof.
Yeah.
Subject complement in function.
So what is it? Where's the clause? first?
That things will improve.
Yes, that things will improve. This is the nominal that clause function as subject complement. Thank you very much. I move to a positive. Yes, please do.
Yes, your assumption that thing will improve is unfounded.
Is unfounded.
That thing will improve is the.
Now, why this is a positive? A positive student, it means what? As if it is, we can say, but not, I mean something identical to what? Replacement for sometimes the subject. Where's the subject? Your assumption. It is not complement. If it is complement, it will be subject complement. What is your assumption? That things will improve. What is that things will improve? Your assumption. You remember the city of New York, third year. New York is a city. It means the same thing. So that things will improve is a nominal data clause and it function as a positive. Can I say it function as a subject? If I remove your assumption, yes, it will be a subject. If I remove your assumption, yes, it will be a subject. Thank you very much. I'm sure that things will improve. Yes, Wijdan.
Yes. That things will improve.
Yes.
Here we have the clause.
Yes.
Function as adjectival complement.
Why it is adjectival complement?
Because describe something.
Because I have sure which is an adjective. So it completes the adjective, it functions as adjectival complement. Thank you very much. Now I move to these three sentences. What is it? I knew that he was wrong. Or I told him that, it is this, that he was wrong. Or I'm sure that, now, here that is optionally, it could be elected. Optionally, I can have it, I can remove it. When I say why, yes, no,
An informal use.
no.
Because function as
Yes,
direct
very
object.
good. I depend on what the function. So there is a rule. If nominal that function as direct object or adjectival complement, I can remove it, I can have it. It is a rule. Now, one might say, what about the object complement? We don't have a function for object complement. Why? Maybe it is not used. So, if the nominal data clause function as direct object or adjectival complement, I can remove it, I can have it. But if you remember the sentence that your colleague is reading, that she is still alive, can I remove now that? Can I omit that?
Because function as a
So what
subject.
is it? Can or you can't?
I can't.
I can't. Why?
Because it is function as a subject.
Yes, but I can do something.
I can add the phrase before.
I can expand it by the fact that it is a matter of style. So, can I say that she is still alive consoles me? Can I say she is still alive consoles me? No, I cannot remove that. Why? Because it functions as a subject, right?
Yes.
So I can remove it only in such function.
Yes.
Any question? I move, of course, leave. Yes, please.
About position.
A positive, it is,
Positive.
yeah.
We can remove it. For example, we say
yeah, you can remove it.
So it
As
is
a
additional.
function, not as that. Or
So we can, it is additional information on the subject.
Yes, I can say, if I say additional, it will have the same meaning as subject complement. So I say it is something you can replace it by a subject. It is related to the subject. Yes. As a function, yes, you can remove it. Now, I have notes, leave them. I start with WH, the second type. What is it? WH, interrogative. Clause or question?
Clause.
Since it is a clause, not a question, what does this mean? Since I say clause, not a question,
There is no subject operator in there.
excellent. But since it is WH interrogative, so this means it is what?
There is a gap open for.
Excellent. Very good. Since it is WH interrogative, it means there is a gap of information. Since it is a clause, not a question, it means it is what? It is not a question. There is no subject operator in there. Okay. Let us see. I want someone to read for me, please, and we will explain. Yes, Murtala, the first sentence.
First sentence,
Yeah, the first sentence. After all,
how the book will serve the birds open.
can you identify the clause, Murtala,
Yes,
for me?
how the book will sell.
Now, this is the clause. I want to label this clause. What is it?
WH interrogative clause.
Yeah, it is nominal first. WH interrogative clause. Where is the subordinator?
How?
How? This is the subordinator, which is simple, which is, of course, it is WH word. Now, how the book will solve? I have no subject operator inversion. That's why it is a clause. But I have gap of information. How the book will solve? In a good way, in a bad way, in a useful way. So there is a gap, but there is what? No subject operator inversion. What is this? It is WH interrogative clause. Function as what, Murtala?
Subject.
Function.
No, function or subject?
Subject. Thank you very much. I move to another sentence. Yes, another sentence. Yes, please.
Yes, I cannot imagine what made him do it. Yes, the subordinate clause, what made him do it.
Okay.
Yes, the function is direct object.
Yeah, it is direct object. I have the verb imagine.
Huh?
Label it. Yeah, WH interrogative clause. Again, where is the subordinator? One. Thank you very much. I move to the third one, the third function. Yes, Ghadir.
The problem, subject complement, the
No,
problem,
read it. Yeah, please.
the problem is not who will go, but who will stay.
The problem is not who will go, but
Who will stay?
yeah, where is now the clause?
Who will stay?
Only
Who will go, who will stay?
very good. This but is coordinator, right? Who will go, who will stay. Both of them, these two clauses function as what?
Subject complement.
And both of them, they are what? Nominal. WH
Interrogative clause.
Thank you very much. Now, my original question, why he did it at all, has not been answered. Where is the clause now? Who can identify the clauses, please?
Why he did it?
Now, again, you see now, it is a positive. A positive, as if I say, what is my original question? Why he did it at all? Why he did it at all? This is my question. Yeah, something related to it. That's why I told you, if I remove my original question, it will be a subject, not a positive.
Because we can replace one.
Yeah, I can replace it because it has the same meaning. Yeah, the same meaning. Yeah, in reality, my daughter, there is, as far as function are concerned, we don't have a function which is called a positive. We have a structure. But since it is related to, they introduce it as what? As a structure. Okay. I was uncertain whose house I was in. Yeah. Who can identify this?
Yes. Whose house I was in. Function as adjective complement.
Yes.
Spelling was nominal clause, WH interrogative clause.
Yeah, it is nominal. WH interrogative clause. And why it is adjectival complement?
We have certain.
Certain, which is adjective. It completes the adjective. It gives further information on the adjective. Thank you very much. Yes, the other sentence. Yes. What about the others? Yes. Yes. Yes, yeah, please.
Prepositional complement. No one was consulted on who should have the prize.
Yes.
Function.
No, before the function, my daughter, you cannot give me a function unless you tell me where's the clause, right? So where's the clause?
Clause. Who should have the prize?
Yes, who should have the prize? This is what? This is the nominal WH interrogative clause. A question asked for me in section B. Can I consider on within the clause or outside? In reality, it is outside because it is a preposition. The function is a complement for the preposition. But now, I want to ask you here, can I postpone on to make it finally? Sorry, Neva?
Yes, because it is matter of style.
Very good, which is
Informal.
informal. So make it please, what shall I say?
No one was consulted who should have the brace on.
The price on, I can make it either initially, remember the question in chapter 7, it is a matter of style. In both cases, it is a prepositional complement. But here I have it either initially, which is formal, or it is final informal. Concerning this point, I have an example. What is it? In the same page. He couldn't remember on which shell he kept it, or he couldn't remember which shell he kept it on. Where are the clauses? Of course, when I say clauses, I mean nominal clauses. Where are they? these clauses? Yes.
The first one, which shall be he kept it.
Which
and the-
is formal.
Formal.
Yeah.
And the second one, which shall he kept it on informal.
Informal. Now, in reality, student, in the first one, which is formal, I should not put on within the clause. It should be outside the clause. Why the author make it here? Because he want to distinguish the style, which is formal and informal. Only this matter. In reality, it should be excluded. Clear my point? The second, it should be within because it is final. Yeah, it is final. This is what section B asked me about this one. Okay. Now I move to these sentences. I am not sure. I am not sure who is coming. And I'm sure that John is coming. I want you now to compare these two sentences for me. You remember, comparison means what? Similarities and differences. Now, I am not sure who is coming. I am sure that John is coming. Both of them are complex sentences. This is the first similarity. Both of them, the clause who is coming, that John is coming, function as what? Adjectival complement. Both of these clauses are nominal clauses. How they are different? First, who is coming is what? Nominal WH interrogative clause, which means there is a gap of information. I don't know who is coming. While that John is coming is what? Nominal. That clause, there is no gap of information. I will repeat. Both of these two sentences are complex sentences. Both of them contain nominal clauses which function adjectival complement. How they are different? First, this is negative again. This is positive sentence. Second, who is coming is WH. Yes, it is nominal, but it is WH interrogative clause. Here it is nominal that clause.
So if I already know who coming.
Who is coming? I don't know who is coming.
So I will use that. That nominal clause.
That it is something certain.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is no gap because there is no WH interrogative.
But if I don't know or specify the person who will come, I'll use who.
Not necessarily who. What about if and whether? It could be yes, no interrogative,
Yeah.
right? You mean it is what? A form of interrogative.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the point. Now, if I say, for example, do you know who is coming? Tell me, where's the clause? Do you know who is coming? Identify for me the clause. Of course, the clause, I mean subordinate clause. By the way, subordinate, dependent, the same. Yes?
Who is coming?
Who is coming? Now, Neba, why do I have this question mark?
Not for who? For do?
For do, very good. It is a question which is yes, no question. Do you know? Yes, I do. No, I don't. What is who is coming? Who is coming? It is nominal WH interrogative clause function as direct object. Clear? So this is question mark not for the subject operator inversion for this. No, it is for you. Now, in the second paragraph, which starts from there is also, of course, I summarize what the author states. The author, all of what I stated, not in detail, in general, what I explained now in detail, summarize it in the following paragraph. This paragraph, I gave a question for fourth year student in previous year. Compare between WH interrogative clause and WH interrogative question. Compare between WH interrogative clause and WH interrogative question. How they are similar. Both of them are similar in meaning. Why? There is gap of information. Semantics. Meaning. Both of them are similar in form because they have WH. So they are similar in meaning. There is gap of information. They are similar. We call this semantic similarity, meaning similarity, or they are similar in what form? By form, I mean shape, WH. But they are different in one thing. What is it? Structure, order. In WH question, I should make subject operator inversion, while in WH interrogative clause, there is no subject operator inversion. This is what the author stated in the following paragraph. from there is also grammatical similarity to the end of the sentence. I will repeat. WH interrogative clause, WH question, both of them have the same meaning, which is what? Gap of information. Both of them have the same form, which is WH. They are different. WH interrogative clause, it is what? There is no subject operator inversion, while with the question there should be inversion. The last point for this section, of course, not for the lecture, it is this point. Within WH, now I want to ask you, for all the previous examples, as a positive, as a subject, do you feel there is a meaning of obligation in the clauses? When I say the problem is not who will go, why he did it all, whose house I was in, who should have. Is there a meaning of obligation? Except should, of course. There is no. Now the author suggests a subtype of WH. We call it true infinitive. In these following sentences, he was explaining how to start the motor. Now, tell me, what is the nominal clause here? Who can identify the clause? Yes, Murtala.
How to start the motor?
How to start the motor? Can you label it, please, Murtala?
Yes, it is nominal clause.
WH interrogative clause. Nominal WH interrogative clause, which start with how, right?
Yeah.
But if you look to how to start the motor, we have what? To infinitive. This to gives which meaning? Obligation. How to start the motor, right? The function is what, Murtala?
Direct object.
Direct object. Good. I move to the other one. I never know where to put my code. Where's the clause? Okay. Function.
Function of direct object.
Good. Again, what is the meaning?
Obligation.
Obligation. I have two. So when I want to tell you, for example, label it, you say it is WH interrogative with to infinitive, because I have two here. Now, I want to ask you, I can say he was explaining how to start, where to start, when to start. Can I say why to start? Yes?
No,
Why?
because why it has the obligation.
Why it has a reason to be justified. A reason with obligation cannot go together. So what did the author state? With to infinitive, it can come with all WH word except why. Why? Because it asks about reason, right? That's why, if you come back to a positive, my original question, why he did it at all, I cannot say why it did it at all. I cannot use it. With why, I can't use why with to only. Again, so I can use all WH words with to infinitive in WH interrogative except why. Why? Because I can't have a reason with obligation. A reason by itself, it gives what? Justification. Now, you have a note, leave it. I move to yes, no interrogative. Since I have interrogative, there's a gap. How do I express yes, no interrogative? With WH, I express it by WH words. With yes, no, I express it either by, yes, interrogative. Again, a clause, not a question. Whether or if. Or whether or if or. In this case, it will be what? Yes, no, alternative. Alternative, you know, it is what? Choices. Now, do you know if whether the banks are open? Where's the clause? Yes, Mana.
If or that the banks are open.
Very good. This is the clause.
Yes.
Why do I have a question? Do. For the auxiliary do, not for if and when.
Yes.
Okay. What do we call this? We call it yes, no, interrogative. Clause, if you say question, it will be wrong here.
It's not.
It is a clause. There's no subject operator inversion. I don't know whether it will rain or be sunny. Now I have something in you. What is it? Choices. Where's now the clause? Yes, Neva.
Whether it's will rain or be sunny.
Yeah. Can you label it?
Nominal yes, no. Alternative Interrogative question.
Yeah, it is
Clause.
alternative one and it is interrogative. Or you say yes, no. It is interrogative with alteration. You can't say this again. Now, whether it will rain or be sunny, which function?
Or direct object.
Good. Now, I move, where's the subordinator?
Weather.
Weather, which is simple.
Yeah.
Is it weather?
Neither.
Weather or, which is coordinative, right? Yeah, it is not weather. You say alternative. Weather or. Yeah. Now, I don't care if your car breaks down or not. Where is the clause now? Yeah. Yes, please.
If your car breaks down or not.
Yes. Label it, please.
Yes, no, alternative, clause.
Yeah. Yes, no. It is nominal. Yes, no. Only. Yes, no. It is only interrogative.
Interrogative, alternative,
Yeah. Clause. Very good. Now, what is the function?
direct.
Care is an adjective. Yes, no. Adjectival complement. Yes, never.
Adjectival complement.
Yes. So it is adjectival complement. Yes, no.
Care is a verb.
Yeah, very good. Care is a verb. How can I negate an adjective? I don't care, right? I'm not saying, for example, I'm not careful. So it is direct object. Now, if your car breaks down or not, this is direct object. Now, is it if or? This is coordinate. Now, so what do we conclude till now? We conclude that yes, no, interrogative. Either it comes with whether or if or whether or if or. Now, another question. Can I use if instead of whether alternatively? No. It means there are rules, there are conditions in which either I use if or I use whether or I can use both of them. What are these conditions? You should memorize them. These are the following. Number one, who can read the first rule? Yes, please.
Only whether can be directly followed by or not. I don't
See,
care.
directly. What does it mean? After it. So I say, for example, whether or not, directly, without what? Without separation. So, read it, please, if you don't mind.
I don't care whether or not your car breaks down.
So, first of all, let us identify the clause. Where is the clause?
Whether or not,
No, this is subordinated.
whether or not your car breaks down.
Very good. Whether or not your car breaks down, this is the one. This is the nominal yes, no, alternative clause function as direct object in which I use after whether or not direct, right? Substitute by if, it will be an grammatical sentence. Why? There is a rule. If cannot be followed by or not direct. So, now, if I ask you, justify the ungrammaticality of this sentence, I don't care if or not your car breaks down, how do you justify? You say, this sentence is ungrammatical because it can't be directly followed by or. Make it grammatical.
Whether or not.
I use whether. I have more than one choice, by the way. I have more than one answer. First, I can say whether or not, which is the direct substitution. Second, I can say I don't care whether your car breaks down or not. I don't care if your car breaks down. See, I have more than one choice. But which one is the most direct? Is to substitute if by whether. Why? Because whether can be directly followed by or not. And instead of going to further substitution, I choose the most direct form.
So I can use if and not at the end.
Not when it is what? Not it is negative clause, not abbreviation. You remember matching the clause in alternative questions? We have either or not, and we have what matching the clause, a clause. If either it is followed by or not, or it could be followed by what? Negative clause when it is the second part, as I am going to discuss now. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Can we put the sentence instead of not?
Yeah, it will be not abbreviation, full form. You say, for example, I don't care whether your car breaks down or it doesn't break down. This
Or
is
does
what
not.
matching. Yeah,
Or
this
does
is
not.
matching without ellipses. Or not, it is what? Ellipses. Just like I say, just like alternative question, if you remember. Are you coming or not? Or not means what? Are you coming or aren't you coming? Yeah, you can. But what is the direct one, Murtala? Is to substitute it by whether. Why? Because I have more. I have more than one option. Now, I come to the second rule. Who can read it whenever you?
Clause beginning with whether cannot be made negative except
Just a minute, I should underline this. Cannot be made negative except
as the second part of the
whether cannot be negative. I did not talk about or not. As a clause, it cannot be negative except when
second
yes.
part of the alternative.
Yeah, it means the other part, the other clause. Yeah, it could be. Read.
Yes, I don't care if it doesn't
Rain.
rain.
Now, I don't care if it does not rain. Where's the negative clause? Doesn't rain. If can be followed by negative clause. If. Look at the other sentence.
I don't care whether it doesn't rain.
Why this sentence ungrammatical? Because the author states whether cannot be followed by negative clause. Can I substitute now whether, and I say I don't care whether or not? Yes, I can. Because or not, it could be. But now, why do I go to other option? Let me now look to the option which is in front of my eyes. If it does not rain, whether it does not rain. So, till now, I know if can be followed by negative clause, while whether cannot be, except
The second part.
how.
I don't care whether it rains or whether it does not.
In which I have two clauses now. The first part, it is positive, whether it rains or whether it does not. Yes, in this case. So except, it means I can use whether with negative, but in the second part, not directly. This is the point.
The parenthesis which is used here is optional.
Yeah, option. And the author give you what? Give you more than one option. He wants to tell you that if you use the first one, it is okay, grammatical. Why? Because if followed by negative. Now, can I use whether in the second sentence? No, because it is a rule. That's why I say memorize it. Can I say whether it rains or whether it does not rain? Yes, I can. Why? Because it is in the second part. Yes.
So this throws a light on the sentence, I don't care whether
Yeah,
the
you
car
see
breaks down
what
or
about
whether.
the author give you a rule with its substitution. Does not generalize for the rule itself. So this sentence, I can paraphrase it, I can use it in more than one choice. But I stick with the rule. What is the rule? If I have negative directly, I will not use whether except when it is in the term. Now, if I paraphrase it in the following way, I don't care whether or not it rains. Okay, it is acceptable, grammatical, correct. But I am talking about the rule, right? So I should be stick with the rule now. I have more than one option. Do you get the point? Now, more than one answer.
I'm asking about the sentence above. I don't care.
Right, you can, the sentence above, you can use or not, you can use without or not, you can use it a clause, but we are restricting to the what? To the rules. What is the rule? If you have such a rule, you should use if not
What
whether.
about the subordinator? To be free?
The subordinator, which subordinator?
Whether or whether.
No, the subordinator, either whether or if, or whether or if or. Only this. Two, there are four subordinators. Two simple, two coordinates. If you have alternative, you say if or whether or. If there is no alternative, it is whether if only. Clear?
It is if only.
We have
If or whether. I have two subordinators. If or
the
whether.
sentence, whether it rains or whether it does
No,
not.
I'm talking in general, Murtala. I'm
About
talking
this.
about the sentence. Yes, you should restrict to the sentence, the use of my students. The author give you conditions. And when you want to use if, not whether. When you want to use, for example, if or, he is not after the alternative. He is after the use of if and what, whether. In case we have alternative, only one case, what is it? Either I have or not, in case this is of course alternative, or I have what another negative part, but in general, word use if I have cases, word use whether I have cases. I'm not talking now about shall I have for example, the subordinator simple or coordinated. I move it to the third condition. Look, Manar, yes, another one. Yes, yes, what's your name?
On the other hand, it cannot introduce subject clause. So
Now, just a minute. Introduce. So it means it is not a subject. It introduces what? A subject to clause. Because if and whether they are not subject, they are subordinated. Yes. So,
whether train or not doesn't consolidate.
look Murtaba now. The author, what did he say? If cannot introduce subject, right? Look at the sentence. What is it? Whether if it rains or not. What is this? This is alternative. But he is not talking now about the alternative, about the structure. When I have, you get the point? Yeah. So now, why don't I use if? It is a rule. If introduce a clause which function as a subject, I can't use. What is the substitution? One substitution, more than one substitution. But now I'm talking about specific, which is what? Subject. I mean, I can paraphrase this sentence in more than one way. Whether it rains or not, for example. It doesn't concern me whether it rains or it doesn't rain. I can put if and whether in the middle. I can paraphrase it in more than one way. But now the rule is about when it introduces a subject, I should use only whatever. Yes.
If it is not a subject.
You can use it according to the previous condition. You look to each one, right? You will look. If it is or not directly, what shall I do? If it is negative, what shall I do? You see, that's why I say you should memorize these rules.
So I'm allowed just to
Memorize.
change the separator.
You are allowed to understand the points and understand the question.
Yeah.
This is the point. Now I move to the last section for today. What is it? Nominal relative. No, neither. If it is required, I'll tell you all. Nominal relative clause. What he is looking for is a while. I will introduce this section by the following question. What he is looking for is a while. Where is the clause? What he is looking for. Right?
Yes.
Is it nominal clause, which is relative, or WH interrogative? And why? Yes.
Relative.
Why not WH? Because I have WH.
Because there is no other.
Very good. This is the difference. There is no gap of information in nominal relative. That's why the author call it what? Relative, not WH interrogative. He say it is nominal relative. So, though WH interrogative a few minutes ago, it has WH words like what, when, where, why, but here there is no gap of information. Is there a subject operator inversion? No. What is the subject operator inversion? My daughter, it is relative. You know relative, something it is what determined. If it is subject operator inversion, my daughter, it is a question, not a clause. Yes, read it, my daughter, here, in order to know what I am talking about. I stop here. Tomorrow, my daughter, take note. So think of this question, because the author talked about this. Well, how do you distinguish between WH interrogative clause and nominal relative clause? Take nominal relative. I will not discuss to and ing. Why? Because in third year you talk about to infinitive and ing. I go directly to bare infinitive and verbless clause, which is section 1119. With a note. 1119. In the note, now, if you have time to read it, you will see that verbless clause is not within the section. So you will look, why the author put a section under the title verbless? You will see it is within what? Within the note, right? By the way, tomorrow I have a lecture with you? No, bring it at 10:30. Yeah, at 10:30. Bring Brahma with you tomorrow. Because I'm looking for vacant hours even with other other section. So tomorrow at 10:30, bring the drama and prepare this, please. So we have what? All I did, this is bare infinitive. Where is verbless? You will find it in the note. You will find it in the note. Then I start with adverbial. Adverbial will take clause of time. Notes, leave it. Place. Notes, leave it. And I talk about condition and concession as an introduction. This is for tomorrow. Okay? So this. So we will talk about nominal relative, bare infinitive, verbless, time, place, condition. Of course, we have time to complete all these. Yeah, tomorrow I will. This is tomorrow. I don't say all of them. But I am thinking of which one is concentrating with me, which one is not with me. No, it's another 100. Yeah. It is what it is. ضحى حيدر ضحى حيدر ضياء إمام عباس مهدي عبير كاظم علي أحمد عبد الحسين علي جواد حسين علي عبد الحسين علي عبد الحمزة علي لطيف عمار رافز غدير سلام